Yes, guys, what is going on out there today? It is Brent Abel here, webtennis.com, with another episode of the January 2025 Daily Fundy Fundamentals. And yeah, this month, that's all we're working on. We're working on the fundamentals of the game, whether it's swing tech, whether it's tactical shot choices, whether it's mindset stuff, the mental toughness thing, whether it's fitness, drills, whatever it is. But the reason that we're working on the fundamentals is because the message I got way back in the day from Tom Stowe, legendary Northern California tennis coach, was that Mr. Abel, when you master the fundamentals of the game, that's the advanced stuff. There's nothing else. There's nothing else you have to do because when you master the fundamentals in all the four areas that I just mentioned, is that you become an insanely consistent shot maker. And and that in itself is, I mean, that's the level. That's the top level, is just never missing. I mean, shouldn't say never missing. That's a little hypey. Once in a while we're going to miss, but as a follow-up to yesterday's message, I want to make sure, and I just want to make sure that you get this one thing that I mentioned. Maybe it was at the end, and it might have gone past you, maybe not. But there's one thing that I used to do wrong that made me too much of an inconsistent shot maker. And I figured out that, wait a minute, I got to change the order of what I do with shot choice. It might sound a little confusing. Let me get to it in just a second. In the meantime, look, before we get to it, if you've not yet picked up my 5 mini mindset skills training course, I've got it a big fat over 50% discount for the rest of the month. I know that we're closing in on the end of January. So yeah, I mean, super great price to get into it right now, because if you're getting tight, you're playing tight, or maybe just, I don't know, a little nervous, a little anxious, either during points or at the end of sets and in the matches. I want to help you bust through that. And the way to do that is with this course that I put together for you. Really, the confidence code for mental toughness in tennis gets built first off the court. You can sit there and grind forever on the court trying to find confidence. Eventually, you might, but we can really fast track it with what you do off the court first. So, guys, look, what I mentioned in yesterday's episode was that the mistake I used to make was that I would, first of all, let's say, for example, a ball's coming over my forehand, right? And the first thought I would go with would be shot choice. Where am I going to play this, right? And too often, what would happen, I would not then create the spacing that I needed to the path of that incoming ball to be able to execute the shot choice, the direction, whatever it was, type of spin to that part of the court over there that was my initial instinct. And I see this a lot where someone plays a really tough ball to me. They pull me way outside, and it's all I can do to just get the ball back. And I get it back, it's sitting there in the tee over there, just fat on a silver platter for the guy. And yet the guy runs into it, right? Or he doesn't get close enough to it. It's a little bit too far away. And what that tells me, they've got a shot choice in mind, but they've not yet honored spacing, right? They've not yet honored the spatial distance they've got to have for their shot choice away from the path of that incoming ball. And whether it's incoming ball or whether it's just sitting up, man, you're going to miss a lot of shots if your spatial distance away from contact that's perfect for you. If you've not done this on a consistent basis, you're going to end up being an inconsistent shot maker. So what I've changed is that if a ball comes over to my forehand, the first thing I do is make sure that the ball's not eating me up, right? If it's coming right at me, I make sure I get away from it instantly. And in that nanosecond of getting away from it, sure, then shot choice starts to make sense in terms of being able to have the confidence that I can execute it, right? And you too as well. If you've not got the spatial distance away from the path of that incoming ball, and you start forcing a shot choice, could be a wide open court, man, you're going to miss too many of those. And it's just really super frustrating, right? So, what I want you to practice today or the next time you're on the court, no matter what shot is coming back to you, whether it's forehand, whether it's backhand, or maybe it's a ball right at you where you got to choose to get out of the way of it. Doesn't matter. I don't care whether you choose forehand or backhand on it, but whatever it is, first thought, let's create spacing with the feet. And that's going to really, depending on the type of shot coming in, that's going to dictate to you what's going to be your best shot choice. Spacing first, shot choice second. And look, um, it's not like that takes a lot of time. All these things happen in just a nanosecond, right? But if we've got shot choice first and we don't get the right spacing, and then we try to force our shot choice into that lousy spacing, yikes, it's not great. All right. So I just wanted to follow up on what I mentioned yesterday, and that the importance of that order of spacing and shot choice. And yeah, so there you have it. Look, short message today. Hope this makes sense. Let me know down below in the comments area any comments or questions, feedback, remark. What's on your mind? You know I love reading your stuff and responding to it. Might take me a day or two sometimes to get to it, but eventually I will. And look, guys, as I mentioned at the top, if you're still struggling with getting tight or anxiety or whatever it is, could be at the end of sets, could be at the end of matches. Maybe you're playing great in practice, but it's not translating over to over to the real deal matches. Could be a league match, a tournament match, or just a serious practice match. I want to help you do that because for me right now, I play so much better in the real deal matches than I do in practice. And I want to help you be able to get to that spot as well. Look, right down below, there's a link. I want you to click it. It'll get you into this course. Normally $197, but this month of January 2025, I've got it for you at well over a 50% discount at just 77 bucks. And yeah, that link is right down below. If you've not yet checked it out, click it and you can get started. So, guys, happy to hang out with you today, man. I'm loving this month of the daily Fundy of getting us into that thought that there's no mystery. There's nothing else that the top guys know that you don't, right? The only thing that you got to start doing is spending your time on the fundamentals, start mastering the fundamentals. And if you start reviewing and start making notes of each one of them that we worked on this month so far, carve out some time for some practice time, get yourself a practice partner and reciprocate, right? Tell the guy, hey, for the next 15 minutes, would you do this for me? I want to work on this one thing. And then reciprocate. Just say, and then I'll give you the next 15 minutes. Lots of times, I find that practice partners practice partners go, yeah, I'm not really, whatever you want to do. I'll start off with the first 15 minutes. I'll offer to go, yeah, whatever you want to do. And they'll frequently go, whatever you want to do. So anyway, off topic a little bit there. All right, guys, look, it's time. We got to get out there. We got to help someone else. Have a spectacular day, guys. I'm going to see you again next time.